the Lord's purpose that prevails. And I believe blessed bonding is possible today because it is God's plan. I hope you will all agree with me. I welcome each and every one of you to the launching program of Blessed Bonding.
Our Father in heaven, we are gathered here with a shared purpose to create a better world for all and young, boys and girls, rich and poor, healthy and fair.
I welcome each and every one of you to this program. 혹시 nervous 이만 들이더라 바짝 부키나 루키나 타카리시나 just like giving birth to a child. It was very hectic the past few days, and finally, like today, it's a day. Today, it's like Blessed Bonding is born. And on behalf of Blessed Bonding, I welcome each and every one of you to a very enlightening time, to an interesting time. You will know more about our Blessed Bonding as we go on. I will not dwell so much on our Blessed Bonding because our keynote speaker, our chairman of Blessed Bonding, is going to do that. But in a nutshell, I will just try to explain a little bit. So Blessed Bonding is like, we are sort of an organization for the parents to be the voice of our children. The capital B signifies the parents, and the small b has bonded and blended so well with it. That is our children. So, and you will see different colors. You will see different colors, very dominant colors of green, blue, yellow, and red. That is the neurodivergent. That is the differences that our children have. They think differently, they work differently, they learn differently, they behave differently, and everything is different. It's all different in the spectrum, and so that is our logo, and that has a huge meaning. So, on behalf of the Blessed Bonding, I'm welcoming everyone, but on behalf of the executive of Blessed Bonding, I welcome each and every member of our Blessed Bonding member here. We are together one organization, but it is very difficult to come forward also. So, we were quite very happy to see all the turnout, but then we were very worried also. What if like our parents don't come? So, and then there is a message like which I want to pass across.
That's a message for you today, and we want this message to reach the farthest possible. So here we are today, making our dreams come true. Before I go on with my message, I would like to introduce you to our executive members. First of all, I am Anita Sema. I'm the chairman in Blessed Bonding, and currently I am designated to OC for Buddha. Hello, Sunjami Anjan, this is our General Secretary, a very hard-working person, and we've been able to fulfill all our needs through his efforts. And he is the Assistant Professor in Engineering College in New. And I Monsha, she is our Joint Secretary, and she is a member in the Commission for Child Rights. Thank you. Madam Agopla, a very well-known person, is our executive member, and she is also a member in the State Commission for Women. We have our treasurer, Ms. Akao Jimo, and he is a divisional accounts officer. And like I said, he is our treasurer in Blessed Bonding. And there are two other members, though they are not able to be present here today. I will introduce the names. Bante Wanyak is also an executive member, and he is a senior lecturer in Nagaland. And we have our district and station judge, Namshri Kano. He is our legal advisor, and that's how we are functioning today.
I'm extremely happy to be part of this launching program today. Because this is a very, very important area which would say that has been, not given much of importance for a very, very long time. So I really appreciate the initiatives taken by the parents to form this NGO. Today, even the government of the day also has taken cognizance of the importance of dealing with disabilities in many ways. And I also feel that this is one very important area which every one of us, when I say every one of us, everybody is a stakeholder here. As a parent, as a brother, as a sister, as an uncle, as an auntie, we are all stakeholders. It is not only the organizations or the commissions that are in place. Everybody is a stakeholder here. And the main objective, our main objective, all of us, our main objective is how to create a very vibrant and well-developed society in the future. And for that matter, it all starts with children. Unless we take care of their rights or their needs, especially the disabilities, then we don't see our plan, we don't see the future. There will be always a discrimination of things and which we do not want that. When we say disability, there are different types of disability. One is mental health, another is physical. So it covers a vast area when you say disability. I myself also have a child, my youngest son. His problem, me and my wife did not detect it at the initial stage. He is suffering from dyslexia. And I think many are not aware in the society of this dyslexia. Of course, it is Down syndrome, cerebral palsy, and others are something quite common. So this, how we found out is that he was very bad, or rather I should say very poor, when it comes to academics. But he has some other talent. And then we thought like, I used to think that as a father, when my son is so down, that sort of thing. And he was this while studying. He even used to praise me that that is a state. Why I do not understand, why I do not understand. Then later on, we were told that he must be suffering from dyslexia. That was the first time I heard dyslexia. Then I checked out the dictionary, I googled it, and found it. And after that, we took him to Delhi. There's one foundation called Orchid Foundation, which deals with all those intellectual and developmental disabilities. Testing. So from there he got himself tested, and that's how we sent him to one school, which they're called a separate cell called learning resources, where they used to help the children. So we sent him there, and slowly, I should say now, he's slowly recovering from that. So it's much better comparing to those days. So these are some of the things which the parents sometimes are not aware of. So recalling back, during my school days, after learning about dyslexia, I would ask sports, they excel in art. But then at that point of time, we see, why he's so dull and all, you know. And even the school also is never aware of this. So these are some of the things that was taking place those days. And after I heard about the dyslexia, I one day spoke with the Commissioner Secretary of the 10, Commissioner Secretary, School Education. And he said, yeah, just go to it. I think this is one very important area which the school needs to address. So, slowly now the schools are also doing it. And last time I had a privilege to have a meeting with the school education department, and also I stressed them on it. That's why I'm saying like the government of the day is also taking cognizance of all these things. That is, so, in fact, I'm very, very happy. I really appreciate you all parents coming forward, you know, and forming this NGO, which will be of great help to all the needy children.
I'm sorry, I always a lot of things go with when I do anything, a lot of accessories and things like that are needed. So I'm sorry for all the time that I take. But I thank, I'm really, really honored to be here with all of you this morning. And thank you so much for inviting me to be here, to join you all in this wonderful program and the launching of this beautiful organization. And as many of the speakers have already said in the beginning, we still have a lot of stigma about disability in general, whatever disability it may be. I myself am, as you all can see, I'm a person with disability, so I know this first-hand experience, as you might call it. My lived experience is there, so I do know this, and it is very difficult even for parents also to even, first of all, when we find out that, a child has an issue, there is something going on, which, as Arun was just saying now, it is very difficult to understand because we never heard of many of the conditions that are there, that our children are experiencing, the problems that are having. The first time we'll be hearing and then what is it? What's going on? We don't even understand the problem, first of all. So it is very, very difficult for parents also to accept also in the beginning. Then after that acceptance comes, again we have to deal with all the societal stigmas that are there, the prejudices, the kind of whispering behind our backs that we all go through, So it's very difficult for us to just come out and stand up and speak up also. That is something that is not easy to do. So I sincerely appreciate that parents, many of you have come together to start this organization, to speak up, to be the voice of your children. Many, we are still young, many of our children, and then many are their disabilities. We all know that there are many different categories of disabilities, first of all, and then again there are different degrees of disabilities also, as we all know. So, for some of our children, the parents will have to be their lifelong advocates in many ways, and I'm really grateful also, and I sincerely appreciate that you all have come out, to speak up, to be your children's voices, to stand up together, and even to support each other and support others as well. So, I will just share a little bit about myself and my own lived experience. So, I was not born with my disability, as some of you may know. So I know both the disabled world and the non-disabled
non-disabled world, so to speak, because the better part of my life I spent as a non-disabled person. So it was in 2006 that I met with an accident, a car accident. I injured my spinal cord, and that's how I landed up in my wheelchair. And so in the beginning, I myself, it was very difficult to accept my disability. In the beginning, I was, in fact, actually I was completely paralyzed from my neck down, and for about 3 months too, I couldn't do anything. No, I could lift my arms, but there was no direction. It was going all over the place. If I wanted to scratch my nose, you know, my mind is clear, my brain was working. I tried to put my hand to my nose to scratch my nose, my hands were going all over the place. So, you know, that was the kind of thing. I couldn't move anything. I was lying there in bed. If I wanted to turn, then someone has to come and turn me on my side. I couldn't eat, but then people had to feed me my, you know, any of my bodily needs and all. Nothing. I couldn't do anything myself. And so that was, I was like that for at least about 3 months, and I had gone, right in the beginning, I was taken to Guwahati for my surgery and things like that. Then the spinal cord injury center in Delhi had gone there, spent over a year over there. The doctors also were very, actually the prognosis in the beginning was very not good at all. You know, my level is, for spinal cord injuries, there are the level of injuries. So my level was C5, C6, which is actually not a good level, where people, you know, tend to, usually many people with that level of injury, they spend the rest of their lives, you know, in bed, barely able to move, that kind of thing. So it was not good at all. And in the beginning, I was also, you know, in such a state, wondering why such a thing had to happen to me. I was angry, first of all, with myself. I was driving myself that night when I met with the accident. So I was blaming myself also. Was I driving too fast? What was I doing? This and that, you know, all those kind of questions to myself. Angry with myself, angry with everyone around me, my family members who were there to help me. I was seriously annoyed with everyone, with everything, you know, nobody could do anything to please me also. And then I was angry with God also, asking God, why is this happening to me? What did I do to, you know, deserve this kind of thing? So I was in that kind of state, and, you know, thinking that my life is over, what will I do again, you know, beyond this. So it was, you know, such a kind of time, and then, you know, and I had all the time in the world lying in my bed, nothing to do, just thinking, my mind working overtime. And then, you know, I always think nowadays, now thinking back to that time, you know, now I think that how did I even come to that point of, you know, my mind where I could think that what's the point of crying, you know, about something that I cannot do anything about anymore. It's done, finished. Now I have to move forward. I have to start this new chapter in my life. It's going to be a new chapter, so why am I lying here crying about that thing, you know, and then getting angry with everyone? Am I going to spend the rest of my life in this manner? So you know, so these days, you know, when I think at that point of my life, you know, I used to think that it must have been, it has to be God only who's nudging me, you know, pushing me, why are you doing this? Just get up and start moving again, you know. So I also decided that there's no point crying over what has already happened. I have to get up, I have to start again, I have to start living again, this new chapter, you know. And so that was how, okay, let me try, let me do whatever I can in order to be able to push myself to, you know, to see what I can do with what I have now. And so, like, it's kind of a miraculous thing also. People, doctors even thought that I would never be able to move again, but with extensive therapy, physio, occupational, this and that, you know, all the things that are very painful also at times. As you all know, the rehabilitation process for, you know, injuries like mine is actually a very frustrating process. You're doing that, you know, exercising, and so then you think that today, oh, I can do this, I can move this finger. Then suddenly you find out next day, you can't move it again. It's like, you know, you take one step forward, 2 steps back. You know, it can be a very frustrating process. But that was how I also kept on trying and, you know, So finally I was able to, sit up slowly. My sensations started coming back. It's even now it's not all normal, but at least I get this thing in Dimapur. That's why it's very difficult. Mosquitoes biting me. I never even know that the mosquito is biting me. It's only after it's all then only I know. Then some people will come. Mosquito is there. They come and this thing. So because my sensation is not the normal thing. So that. But anyway, I started. And nobody thought that I would be at this level also. So that was how, finally one day I was able to sit up and, with the help of a walker, I could even stand up a little bit and things like that. So I said, finally, okay, it's time to go back home. So I came back home. And, I used to think that, it may sound a little strange also, in such a situation. Why is she so excited about coming back home and starting, the new chapter? So, but I was quite excited, thinking about now I'm going back home, and I had a lot of plans in my mind. I was working in the newspaper at that time, so I was like, okay, I'll go restart my work. This is what I was going to do, so, because I couldn't even write, I had to start learning ABCs again, and now I can sign my name, and maybe if I'm forced to, I can, somehow scratch my name where I have to read and write sometimes, but I can't use my, so these days technology, with all these things, that's very helpful for a person like me, because I cannot even use my fingers properly. So, I could do a lot of things. I knew that my life was drastically changed, but I was excited to come back home, to start my new life, and then so people, it may sound strange to people, so I was actually very excited. But once I got back home, I settled in, got back home, got used to it. At home also I had a lot of adjustments to do now that I can move around like earlier. So a lot of adjustments, but now I've come in, settled in, and started thinking about what should I do, what to do. Now I will start my life, I will start socializing the way I used to be earlier. Then I suddenly started slowly, I started discovering that in a place like Nagaland, in Naga society, in a society like ours, a person with a disability. People with disabilities, you could see them anywhere. You cannot find them anywhere. Nobody was talking about them. And me also personally, I always say that please don't take me as a standard for a person with a disability. Because I am a very, very, very fortunate person. I may have a disability, I got my disability, but I have a very, very good support system in my family. No, not even one day will I need to do something and not find, someone to take me around, to assist me or to do anything. I have a huge family, and that's how I also discovered the benefits of having a big family. We are a big family. So I have a huge brood of nieces and nephews now, and now some of our grandchildren are also old enough to drive me around if I need. I don't have a driver, so always one or the other is there. So I'm a very fortunate person. Then even, if I'm not working and I cannot earn, so I know that I'll never be wanting. There will be a lot of people in my family who will be willing to help me, to be there with me. Anything that I need, I'll get it. So I'm not a standard, I always keep on saying. So anyway, I came back home, and then though I had a very good support in my family, in my support system in my family, I personally also started facing, noticing all these things. Even my own friend circle, I have a very good friend circle. That kind of attitude. They don't call you, and then they immediately assume that I cannot do something just because I can't walk or move around like people. Then if there is a program somewhere, somebody is doing something, then they don't even this thing, then later on I'll hear something like that, saying that, oh, we know that it will be difficult for you. That kind of, I started encountering those kind of things. Then why is everyone thinking that, I can't do something, whatever they are doing. Now, why are they not even asking me? They never ask me, is it going to be difficult for you? What do you need, to come and participate in this program. Oh, we are going to have a dinner tonight. We want you, but what will it, what do you need for you to be able to come and join us? Nothing of that sort. They just said, so no need to bother. So we are left out. Disabled people are left out of everything. If you will notice also now, things are changing slowly. That is a good thing in our society now. Even within this, 3-4 years, I think we have seen a huge change coming about in our society. Awareness has become so much better now. We still have a long, long way to go, but awareness certainly has improved a lot. I'm sure you will agree with me. In those days, but that was 15, 16, nearly 20 years ago, and so at that time, so it was still very poor. So disability, nobody was talking about it. Nobody knew what was happening. And so I used to, then I started thinking about, as I said earlier, what is happening to the disabled community in our society? Where are our children with disabilities? Are they going to school or not? Getting an education or not? Are people with disabilities able to work and earn their living or not? I started getting those questions. So I started researching. I also, disgracefully, I did not know anything about disability at that time. And that's the case with non-disabled people. All of you, those parents with, all of you, I don't know whether all of you are parents with disabled children, but most of you all are, I think. So it is only after your child's, after you got your child, then only you started learning about disability. I think you will all agree that all of us as non-disabled people, we don't bother. We come across one disabled person, whether it's a child or an adult, we say, that kind of thing we have, and then we finish that short interaction with them, we leave, go back home, nobody bothers, nobody, we don't think though, because disability is not on our radar at all though. So I also at that time too, I was, disgracefully unaware about disability issues, what was going on, what was happening, or what are the rights, disability rights, also rights of persons with disabilities. So I started researching all that by, going through various articles and, laws and things like that. Then I started connecting with disabled people, disabled organizations across the country, some known people, individuals and groups and things like that. And I started educating myself. And that was how, I said, at that time, as I said, no, I didn't know what I was going to do. I was thinking that I have the power of my voice. My voice, I can use it and, say something about disability issues, disability rights, talk about the things that people are not talking. In our society, it's like a taboo thing, at that time, nobody was mentioning disability because it was something so shameful, kind of a shameful thing to even discuss. So I thought that I can use my voice to at least tell my story and, create that awareness among our people. So that was how I started my journey in disability rights advocacy, activism, and things like that. So the good thing is now, our disability movement in many ways has become so much stronger, and this blessed bonding that has been launched today is evidence of that. In just, as I said, just 4-5 years, of course we have had a parents association from before. Now I am motivating them again to, they have been a little quiet for a few years, so I've been trying to motivate them into restarting, whatever. They were doing a lot of work those days when most of us were, still unaware of these things. And as I said, they've been a little quiet in this past few years, but this blessed bonding is also evidence that now the movement is growing in our state, in our society, Naga society also. And so this is something that we have to build, something that we have to push forward. So my office, the State Commissioner's office, this is there in order, it's kind of a monitoring body, and it is also quasi-judicial court kind of thing, where we take up the cases of disabled people whose rights have been violated, or who, many people, even in employment or here and there, they just dismiss their cases or things like that. Many times, even if it is legitimate cases, that needs to be taken up. So they come to us. We make sure that no person with disability is being discriminated or treated badly, or the whatever issues that we have are not being taken seriously. That is our job, and that is what we do. We have been taking up a lot of cases, and what we do is also create awareness, carry out these campaigns and workshops with various sectors, whether it's the government or the private sector, with the various departments, and we are pushing the government to make sure that all the areas, education is there, skill development is there, employment now, the 4%, we are, that one we are strictly trying to monitor so that our young people with disabilities are also not left behind. They get a fair opportunity in order to compete with others and get into, the service also. That kind of thing. Those are the things that we do. But one thing that I have been telling young people with disabilities also, the Nagaland State Disability Forum, I'm sure you all have heard of them. That is now the state level disabled people's organization. And a lot of young people with disabilities are also now quite active, doing their own campaigns, carrying out their own campaigns and programs and going to the different districts. Kohima, Dimapur, it's always fairly, though yes, we face a lot of problems, but it's always easier for us, in these urban centers. But in the districts, a lot of issues are there, which we also have not been able to reach properly, even now. So the church also, that's why it is so important for the church also to be involved in this. This is one thing that I have been talking to the church about. The church has to be fully involved in this. It has to be part of the mission, the ministry that they carry out, and this is something so important. There's a huge role the church can play in the disability sector, and that is what we are trying to encourage them also to come forward. Yesterday we had a family retreat was held in Januki, hosted by the Januki Town Baptist Church. And so for 3 days, so yesterday we had that closing program, and I was there in Januki Town. And so it was such a beautiful, there's so many small children and young people with disabilities also, they were there for 3 days. They had that, and so the church also was fully involved, and they were also very excited. We will carry out more programs and we will do this. So it is through the church that we can reach the innermost, the furthest corners of our state also. So that is one thing that we are trying to encourage. But as I was saying this, a lot of now awareness is there. But I'm so glad that this lesson bonding has been launched today, and I know that this is just not going to be a platform and organization for support, but it will be a beacon of advocacy, for our children and for everyone, all persons with disabilities. We need this so much, because we as an office, or maybe the department is there doing, implementing the various programs that may come along. But unless the public pressure is there, from the parents, it may be parents, or it may be the stakeholders themselves. If that pressure does not come, then it's difficult for us. Once the public pressure is there, then it's easier for us to push the government also in various areas. So that's why I'm always telling the young people with disabilities also that, see, you'll need to stand up more. And I scold them also. I said, see, what are you all doing sitting quietly there? Look at others, what they are doing. Now stand up, speak up, push. And we're here to support and push. But unless you all are behind us pushing also, saying that we need this. Why is this not there? Why is this not being given to us? Unless that voice is being, that is being voiced out loudly by the stakeholders themselves, then our job is tougher. So when the people are there, speaking up for themselves, that it makes all of our jobs easier. So in pushing the government, because the government, as we all know, there are so many things that we are behind in, and I always keep on saying, unless we speak the truth, it's we cannot move forward. And the truth is that disability sector is such a neglected sector for many years. Till a few years ago, nobody was bothering about the disability sector. To be honest, that is very true. Government also, see, our disability act has been there since 1995, the old one. Imagine that. And not even a single law has been properly implemented at all. That is the truth. Now the one that is enforced is the new updated version, that is the 2016 Act. So now since then, of course, there has been a lot of push. Our movement also has grown. So now the government is also much more aware than earlier. So a lot of things are going, but we still have, because of all the neglect in the past, not even a single program was properly started. We don't even have a single, service, proper rehabilitation services being provided. You all, as parents of children with disabilities, you all will be very much aware of this. You need something, those who can afford taking their children somewhere, Guwahati, Delhi, Calcutta, whatever you have to take them, here and there. In our own district, we don't even have the services. Why? Because nobody bothered about all these things, otherwise it should have been there from a long time ago and we should be building on those. But the thing is, now we have to start from scratch. Everything has to start from scratch. The good thing is, as I said, with the awareness that is improving now, a lot of in the private sector also are now starting various kinds of services and institutions, centers to provide support to people with disabilities as well as their families, caregivers and things. And so that's the good thing that is happening now. That movement that has started. That is a good thing, but we still have a long way to go. All of us coming together, working together to keep on pushing our agenda. We need to push for our children, for the disabled community to be fully included, to be given the equal opportunities as equal citizens. That is the one thing. So people sometimes they ask me, what are disability rights? What do you keep on talking about the rights of disabled people, But what is disability rights? It's nothing more than equal opportunities for disabled people.